It's just occurred to me, I know it's been a crazy few days, but at some point on Saturday, was there just a bit of calm and a chance just to assess things and take in what's been happening?
Yeah, probably when I got home, if I'm being honest. We had 5 minutes in the office afterwards where, yes, it wasn't just even last week. It was probably obviously, unfortunately, with the previous manager's family situation, even the period before that. So it's felt like a really, for me personally, a chaotic 2 weeks. And I think probably when I was reflecting Saturday night, a situation I've never been in before, where you're kind of just looking after something, trying to keep it ticking along, because you're not building towards your philosophy, or at the moment we're waiting for that next period of time. So you're trying to keep the team going without actually building towards the bigger picture. So that's actually a lot tougher than a lot of things I've done in football, where it's been clear the direction you're going and you're always working towards that. So sat down, and probably my overriding feeling after I sat down was just that in the end, although it was way from being perfect, I just felt a load of pride, because I think at the very end, everybody felt together. Now, we only got a 1-0 and the performance wasn't particularly great for the most part, but we got a draw against third in the table after having weeks and weeks and weeks of pretty poor performances for 90 minutes. And the players, the fans, everybody, the staff all come together to get a point. It was only a point, but that might be the starting point, and that was probably my biggest reflection.
And was it fitting for the goal? Maybe two players who haven't had it all their own way this season were involved with Luke's cross and promised scoring the goal.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's really interesting. There's so many ups and downs in football, and particularly for individual players. So Joe obviously had the excitement of coming in and getting injured. He puts the ball in for LT, who's clearly, from the fans' reaction, they've been desperate to have him out there, and then he crosses, and he's missed loads of football for somebody who then has missed loads of football, and they head it in, and they probably felt really high on Saturday night, and you actually in those moments forget all the lows, and obviously you have way more lows in football than highs, but the highs far outweigh the lows, and I think probably Saturday night for quite a few individuals probably felt that way.
And we look forward to the Exeter game, and is it a bit strange because we don't know 100% whether you'll actually be leading the team at St James's Park in a few days' time?
No, exactly that. I mean, I just spoke to George then, and at the moment I'll plan as if I'm taking it. We'll sit down tomorrow morning, we'll go through the long list of clips, try and work out. Obviously, we've got one session tomorrow to work out a plan, how we try to press them, how we try to build to create some sort of overload somewhere on the pitch, and try and continue the probably last 15-20 minutes worth of performance. Now, that's personnel wise, but that's also style wise, so we'll have a little look at that tomorrow. They're completely different to Wrexham, and I'll have to explain to the group in the morning that I think going from Wrexham, who play one style, very good at it actually, to Exeter, slightly different, to then going back to Stevenage, I think the squad will get used quite a lot for just physical reasons, if nothing else, but also for tactical reasons, because the challenges are so different over the three games.
And is it too simplistic to say the changes on Saturday made a difference, and just giving Chris a bit more support up front? Is there scope to start like that, or do you have to be trailing and chasing games to maybe be bold like that?
Yeah, listen, I was really open and honest afterwards. I know I make loads of mistakes, and I don't think I quite got it right. It wasn't the players' fault. I said I do afterwards that it was definitely mine. In hindsight, it would look really negative because we end up having five centre-backs actually. Well, I think that's a bit harsher on Clint, but 5 centre-backs on the pitch, if some people want to say that. And there was a real reason behind it. It didn't work, and I held my hand up in half-time. I had to fix it. I think then, obviously, we knew we had to stay in the game. Let's be honest, we're not in great form, so I know everybody's just go out and attack, but football's not quite that simple. We'd all just do it. And then the subs made a huge impact, so no, they did change the game, but that's mainly because the players that we brought on fitted what we actually needed in the game, and they then also probably showed a huge level of professionalism, because there's nobody sulking or moaning, or they're all in it together. They support each other, and I know it's a cliche, we win, lose and draw as a group, and that's what we do. And I spoke to Scotty and Taylor Moore, and I actually apologised to them, because it feels like they get hung out to dry, but it was not them. If we can't get a Scotty 1v1 down the side of the centre back, well, that's a big strength of his. And Taylor Moore did everything he can, but he's not a right wing back, in all fairness to him. And I knew that before the game, but I did want to make sure we were still in the game, knowing full well we got a really strong squad. And then the changes work. So I guess if you make a mistake, fix it. I think we did. And yeah, it's a shame, probably a couple more minutes. I think we might have been able to nick a winner in that game, which again shows the potential of the group.
And just talk to me about the support you received, because we saw both Scott and Jack Hunt just assisting. You can't do it all on your own, I guess.
No, and it's felt a really busy time because obviously during the week Hunty needs to get himself fit and he's back on the grass running now. So on Saturday I was immensely grateful for not just him but all the staff. They really dug in because it was only me. So the fans that were there early knew I had a couple of interviews, set the warm-up up, lead the warm-up, do the team sheets, deliver the team message, then go out. Now obviously once you get to the bench, you need a sounding board. There's a lot, and there's also a lot of pressure because you want to win. Obviously you're desperate to win, and you have a plan, but you need the sounding board. You need people that understand football, and Scott Brown and Jack Hunt have got, between them, probably close to 1,000 games, I would imagine. So to have that support, that knowledge on the bench, I thought they were both really, really good, really useful, and they were as much to do with the draw as anybody else.
I'm trying to avoid you answering any questions with no comment or I don't know, but do you have any idea when Rovers might appoint a new manager?
Unfortunately not. So at the moment I'm planning on taking the game on Saturday.
And
on Thursday.
Well, yeah, I know, it's Christmas, it's crazy, isn't it?
Saturday.
And if and when the new guy does come in, is it a question of you sitting in the room and finding out, because what's your responsibility going to be in the new regime?
Yeah, and I think I've been really aware, it's not all about me, so yeah, listen, I'll fit into the club. I was told I was a club appointment when I come in, and I'm here to support any managers in place, and I think I did a good job in supporting Matty and Wayne, and a new person, man or woman, we don't know. I'll do the best I can in whatever role they need me. And really, I said on Saturday, I've not got a huge interest in being a manager. There's some of the stuff that I learned from when I did it before. It's not for me. I'm not interested. I want to be the best coach at developing players and helping develop a system. Now dealing with recruitment, board, team selection, that's just boring for me. I'm not interested. I want to be a really good coach on the grass. So hopefully, when the new person comes in, then I'll go back to what I probably think my strength is, which is coaching.
Yeah, and just finally, you've mentioned Exeter, a different test to Wrexham. They had a much needed win, I think, against Burton in their most outing, but it's always a tough game down at St James's Park.
Yeah, exactly that. And they're a really good team, really well coached, really organised. I know a few staff down there. I picked the brains of one or two before the Wrexham game, because obviously they got beat quite heavily by Wrexham, and they made a few fundamental mistakes, like being really open and attacking early on, and were out the game before they were in. So, I know we all want to play the perfect game, but it's not always that possible. So, yeah, they would have watched us. I think at the moment we're probably quite unpredictable about, it'd be hard to predict what's going to come. I think it'd be safe to say that how we finish a game, it'd be not too far off as it currently stands from that type of team. But we've got a couple of little knocks, niggles. We got a couple of games in short space of time, so we just got to make sure we get the balance right.